afternoon. This is Pigskin Isn't Just for Cooking podcast. Your commissioner of the dish here, Adam Bullock, here with Evan Forbes. Howdy, sir.
I'm here. I am alive and well.
A
couple days removed.
Yeah, quiet on the message boards.
Yeah, I've been a little quiet. I've been not as active on the boards as I usually am.
That is the elephant in the room, and we will most certainly be talking about it.
Boy.
But anyways, happy holidays. How was your Christmas?
Good. Did the Christmas Eve big dinner for everybody. I had 10 people over. The bummer was Thursday or Friday, the day before, my mom was feeling a little sick and she tested positive for COVID.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Is she doing okay?
She's good. She had a runny nose, whatever, and I think not even a cough or a fever or anything like that, but she tested positive. So her and her boyfriend stayed at their house, which is, you know where it is. It's like down through. You were there, and I forget, when were you there?
Our last podcast.
What day was that, though? Was it a Wednesday?
That was a Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday.
Yes.
So you should be good, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I feel fine.
I didn't even think about that. Like, you were just in that house. But the thing is, though, so she tested positive, and she'd been hanging out with her boyfriend, and he came over because he was just going to stay with her Christmas Eve like he planned on doing. And they tested again because, like, if you test negative, you're coming over Christmas Eve, maybe wear a mask, and you and me and her boyfriend Paul will do our dinner in the living room, watch a movie. I'll hang out with you guys. It'll be fine. Whatever. He tested negative. She tested positive again. Like, what is going on? And then she tested positive again just Monday. So she finally called. They're like, it happens. It happens. You could test positive for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
You won't be contagious, I guess. This is hearsay, I guess. So don't take this as medical advice.
This is not a medical podcast.
No, do not take medical advice from a fantasy football podcast. But they're like, you're fine. Like, if you don't have any symptoms, you've done your thing for the 10 days and the 4 day. Well, not even 10 days because they weren't reoccurring symptoms, right? They didn't persist. Like, you're fine. You're okay. You will just keep testing positive, and that's just kind of what it is. We're like, well, great. She could have come over,
right?
But it is what it is.
Better be safe.
Yeah, but other than that, it was great. Dinner got done and all that stuff. And you said you had a pretty low key.
Oh yeah, holiday. nice and easy. Loved it. And try not to get too stressed out over the holidays. There's no reason to be stressed out over the holidays. That's not what the holidays are for.
It's very counteractive to what you're trying to do during that time. Right. So there's no point.
No, but it's good. Well, I'm glad she's doing well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not worried about it. I was there Wednesday. I didn't touch much. I drank a lot of booze since then.
Yeah.
I'm well pickled and boosted up. So.
Yeah. So am I, and so was she. So yeah, that's one of those weird things.
Well, heck yeah. So fun podcast today. Not a whole lot to talk about. So I figured we'll just be spitballing a lot. Well, there is a lot to talk about, but yes, there are certain things to talk about. But let's, as always, start off with our news.
Who will the Patriots' #1 receiver be this weekend? My brothers are fantasy warriors. We share our knowledge with one another. Whatever my brother knows, I know. And all of their knowledge will be mine. I'm gonna crush you guys this week.
So, there's not a lot of games this week. There's two matches.
Yeah, I guess.
So you're still playing this week.
Yeah.
But so a lot of the news is geared towards who's playing.
Right.
And I've peppered in some other stuff at the end for just because it is news.
Nice.
As people need to know.
Heck yeah.
So first off, big news: Tua is in concussion protocol for the second time this year. Should have been third time.
Woof.
And it was spotted by the coach. Watching tape.
Is that how it happened?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I was reading up on it. He was watching tape, and it was like the second half. He's like, "This isn't right." And Tua was like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling the best either." So he got the concussion earlier in the game and played through the rest of the game, and that's when it all fell apart too. He threw like 2 picks. I didn't think he looked right either. Some of those throws, I was like, "What is going on?"
Really? Wow, dude. That's a little scary, man.
Right.
It's just it kind of speaks to how many are just going undiagnosed and are just out there in the league.
It could have been
now.
That you don't notice. They have spotters now for that, but they didn't catch it.
Right.
But I mean, because adrenaline's a thing. They think it was just one play where he just hit the back of his head on the turf when he got taken to the ground.
Muscle memory kicks in.
Yeah.
You do the same things 1,000 times in practice a week. Your body's just going to probably do most of it on its own without you having to think about it too much while your brain tries to unscramble.
Right.
That's crazy because there could be 2 or 3 walking around the league right now that no one just has looked closely enough or has...
wasn't symptomatic enough to be spotted.
Right.
And then, it could be, with COVID out there too, it's like, oh, I just got a headache or a migraine. I feel a little sick.
Right. Dang.
So, yeah, it was spotted by the coach watching, just the game after, watching tape.
You know what you can't say anymore is you can't say I just got my bell rung. That's a phrase that you will hear less and less and then not at all because that's not a thing. Getting your bell rung in the 80s is like, oh, yeah, it's going to get a concussion.
Yeah, this dude's got a concussion, but he's back in.
Yeah, exactly. I just got my bell rung, coach. Okay,
cool.
You're good.
Yeah, get out there, fella.
Jesus, go ring his bell.
So I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
That's 2 in less than 6 months.
Yeah.
Apart. Especially that first one where he was T-Rex armed and everything. I'm calling, and I think Tua should retire now. He's a young man. He's made millions of dollars.
Sure.
You don't mess with that stuff,
Play for 3 years and get done.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got to look at the long term, like the rest of your life, and the quality you want it to be.
Yep. Become a coach or be in a newsroom,
For sure, there's options.
There's options to still make a lot of money and be around the sport that you love so much.
And I actually I prefer that it be a more viable career path and more obvious career path. If you just feel like, hey, maybe I want to cut out a little early to save my,
Andrew Luck did
maybe
it.
save your life. And let's get some of these like Collingsworth and old fogies out of here. Let's get some new blood in. Like Tony Romo was like one of the best additions of the past 3 seasons to a commenting staff. Is that 3 or 4 now? How long has Dak been?
How long has he been out, Tony Romo?
Yeah. Has it been longer than I think?
I think it's been a while.
Oh, cripes, dude.
It's been a while.
Either way, I mean, and now you got the Manning show.
Yeah.
Dude, that's brilliant, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great idea.
Yeah. So, yeah, here's hoping it gets better. But it's as far as this week, he's a non-starter.
No, not at all. It'll be Teddy Bridgewater starting in Miami.
And that's Dan's only option because Zach Wilson has been usurped again. I feel like we've said that like 3 or 4 times by Flacco and White.
Yeah. The same thing is going on over in Indy. People can't quite figure out what's going on with the quarterback situations. Ellinger. Is it Ellinger? I can't remember.
That's right. I forgot he's been Sam Ellinger, I think.
Yeah.
He's been thrown in the mix. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
the quarterback carousel, as they call it.
Quarterback carousel, that's right.
Yeah. But good luck to him. I hope he feels better.
Yeah.
And get better, man. You got some tough decisions to make.
Yeah. Well, more bad news for Dan.
Yes. Next up, Tony Pollard was a game time decision. Is now out today.
Yeah. Like a couple hours ago.
Yes. Woof. And which smarts even more because Chris Alex has Zeke. And
it's a real backhand to add to the front hand.
Yeah.
It's
and that means Zeke's he's gonna be balling out. It's gonna be his game to take. But that's the bad news for Dan.
I think he threw in Lazard as the replacement, I want to say.
I think is the smart move.
Yeah.
It could be because
Green
Bay. They're playing Minnesota. Minnesota's okay. They're pretty decent. But Green Bay needs this win. They'll be playing to win so that they can still make playoffs.
Right. Green Bay has shown over the last, I think, 4 or 5 weeks that they're not done for the year. And they've had some hiccups, but they still win games. They still have talent on the team. Aaron Rodgers is still a talented quarterback.
Correct.
But more so... they've made some changes maybe that we haven't seen, I guess, because I feel like they haven't done anything. They just started winning games.
They just started clicking for him at the right time, right?
But they hadn't gotten anybody new except who came over from? Didn't somebody come over from? No, they lost MVS to the Chiefs.
To the Chiefs.
I wouldn't say lose. It's a terrible way to phrase it. He went to the Chiefs. He got Yeah.
They got traded, right? It was a trade.
I think so. The Chiefs, and didn't they get? I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not gonna.
But it's because one of the rookies might not play for Green Bay, was it Watson or Doubs? I can't remember who was injured.
Right.
The last game, which is why Daskell, one of the reasons Daskell says his team lost.
Sure.
So
luck of the draw, man. I mean, it wasn't.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Last week. So looking at Dan's bench, I think that's the best move to put in Lazard there.
For sure.
So those are the bad ones for Dan, but Chris Alex has a couple of his own.
Yeah.
James Conner, again, missing practice yesterday and today, out with an illness.
Right.
Could be a concussion.
Oh, you think?
I don't know.
Oh, is that your...
No, just spitballing. Just like, hey, this guy's wants to come and play.
For
just
sure.
call it an illness. It's like, I got the flu, coach.
I'm feeling a little ill.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Double vision? Well, no, I just don't feel good.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Don't ask specifics.
I'm just ill, coach.
Yeah, whenever you see that it's just illness, or the dreaded undisclosed illness or undisclosed injury, but that's not what this is.
Yeah,
it's very worrisome because, like, what does that even mean? Is it a day illness? Is it a 24-hour flu?
Is he having an appendectomy?
Like, who didn't somebody just? I saw the word "snuck away for surgery." Who was that just popped up? Was that Tannehill? That snuck away for surgery, or Matt Ryan snuck away for surgery down to Florida somewhere?
Oh, that did happen the past year or so. I don't know.
That was just recently.
Oh no, I missed that. I didn't see that.
I swear I just saw somebody snuck away to surgery.
All right.
Just in the last few weeks.
Sneaky snake over here.
Somebody correct me. I might look it up on break because I was like, that's a weird turn of phrase to put that. Because I was like, I saw the word sneak. I was like, sneak play, sneak something. Snuck away for surgery.
Snuck away for surgery.
Interesting.
This is like, didn't tell the coaches. It was just like,
bye. That's the old Rodman move,
going to get surgery. Yeah. The old Rodman move. I like that.
After or just before a game, he's just MIA. He's at WWF making a ringside appearance while he's supposed to be playing a game.
Yep.
That happened.
At Madison Square Garden.
Watch The Last Dance. It's an amazing documentary. It's good stuff.
It was pretty solid.
Oh, you mean the wife just ran through it,
dude.
Yeah,
it's good.
In a day, I think.
No, nice.
Like 6 episodes. They're like, kid, we'll pause for lunch, but, go play. You're 7.
Oh, that's awesome. Sneaking away, doing whatever they want. So James Conner illness, I would say, depending on the illness or whatever it could be, he's in a good chance to play on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Even if he missed some practice, I think James Conner is a workhorse enough running back that they can do that.
Sure. But even so, I think Chris Alex still has some options on his bench. I don't know if I'd play the Cardinals tight end, but you have Cobb. You could always throw in as a dart throw. I mean, he might get you 6. He might get you 2. He might get you 11.
But
it's championship.
This is championship.
It is championship.
You shouldn't be throwing darts in a championship.
I mean, if you're out,
if you don't have to, I guess.
Yeah, if you're out Conner. Do you know Chris Alex has 8 quarterbacks?
8 quarterbacks? That's where they're all at, huh? I think I have 6.
One's on IR, but he has 7 on his team in taxi. He's Mond on taxi, 2 in his spots, and 5 on or 4 on his bench.
God, that's fantastic.
And then 1 on IR.
I love it. That's fantastic. I got 1 in IR, 2 playing. Yeah, I think I have 8 as well.
Jesus.
Possibly. I'm up. It's up there. I just picked one up. So
I got 4. Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think they even put him on IR. I don't think he's on my IR spot.
Sneaking away for surgery.
Sneaking. Yeah, he's just an out. But I can't bench him, so, bench problems. Speaking of quarterbacks, though, one of Chris Alex's, Jalen Hurts, might be coming back.
He's doubtful, but was seen at practice, thrown around today.
Right. Today's Thursday, the 29th, by the way.
Right.
December.
So, I don't know. I don't know if he plays. If he does play, that's huge. That's huge for Chris Alex.
I mean, Dan loses Tua, and Chris Alex gains Jalen.
Yeah. That could be the game right there. But I think they'll ride Gardner Minshew. He did pretty good for them.
Yeah.
And give your guy one more week of rest before you hit playoffs.
And Pickett still got 20 points last week for Chris Alex.
Yeah.
And they are playing Baltimore this week. I don't know what that means. It's a division game.
It means they're playing Baltimore?
It's a division game, so I don't know if that means anything as far as what can be done or will be done for the Steelers quarterback. I don't know.
So, yeah. He's got some moves to think about. Big games today, that's for sure, for those two
Today, Thursday.
Yes.
Yes.
Thursday night games, big games for them today.
Yeah.
A couple notable things I have on here. Tannehill moved to the IR today.
Mm-hmm.
And Derek Carr benched and then was like, all right, guys, I'm out. And he leaves the team.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
He left the Raiders?
He's still a Raider, but he's like, I'm doing my thing. I'm not showing up. Yeah.
Really?
Taking some me time. So I think that's the end of Derek Carr in Vegas.
So are we saying Rodgers is going?
Like I predicted last week.
You also, I said you sure did, dude. Well, yeah, you did. Aaron Rodgers also has a very similar facial thing that you got going right now. I had mentioned Henry Cavill, last episode, but it's also very reminiscent of Rodgers when he gets that nice little beard stubble and then grows that thicky in front.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
Working on it. Yes, sir.
So Aaron to Vegas, and then Jordan Love steps up.
I want to see that
Jordan
happen.
B. Love.
But who knows what's going to happen. There's an option. So he signed a 3-year extension this year.
Love or Rodgers?
No, Derek Carr.
Oh.
So he signed a 3-year extension this year. But they can, if they trade him, I think it's like the week before the Super Bowl or 2 weeks after the Super Bowl, they only take a $4 million hit.
Oh, that stuff's so confusing. I'm a numbers guy too, and I haven't tried to wrap my head around that stuff. That means the Vegas would have to pay $4 million to.
So that would take their cap, and they'd ship him off instead of paying his like $55 million.
And that's what's called buying out his contract. Is that
essentially? But yeah, you're freeing up all that extra space, so they'll have $50 million to play around with.
That they're not paying him over the next 3 years,
right?
Gotcha.
Right. So that's this 1 year. If they ship him off at a certain time, they only take a $4 million hit.
Okay. Does that change every year? Like if they would do?
But that means someone else would have to pick up his contract.
Oh.
So if they trade it, that's part of
for the other 46.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think he's worth it. I think
to
he's
where?
just.
Where does Carr go? Where do Carr go? Cargo Road.
Yeah. Right, yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one. Indy, because of the
Jets. Add one more horse to the carousel. The Jets add one more horse to the carousel. They get the same thing. Flacco, White, and Wilson.
But this would be the clear-cut starter signal caller.
You think?
Yeah. If Tampa Bay,
Tom might be.
If Tom retires,
who's their backup?
I'm not sure, but I think Chris Alex has him.
You've got like a 1 in 50 something. No, if he's got 8 of them.
Yeah.
Most teams have 2 backup quarterbacks,
something like that, and the practice team, which is really crazy because Tennessee is now playing with Detroit's practice team quarterback, who they picked up like this week or last week.
Okay.
So they're benching their rookie, whom I drafted, for this guy who has only been with the team for 1 week.
That's awesome.
So we'll see how Tennessee does. And they play tonight, too. So no Derrick Henry, a 1-week-old practice Detroit quarterback.
But so what does that say for Josh Jacobs tonight, then?
Josh Jacobs doesn't.
Oh, that's right. We had switched.
So I'm flipping stuff around. But
you switched to the Titans. I stay with you. I got lost for a second.
Yeah, you're good. So that's we'll cover that game later.
Yeah.
But yeah, Derek Carr gets benched because they don't want him to get injured.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't play, like by the second week of next season, something else happens with his contract. Contracts are crazy, man. I was reading up on it earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, but
we need a contract correspondent on this podcast. I could see
Aaron Rodgers going back to be thrown to Devontae Adams.
Crazy.
That'd be great.
The classic Brady Gronk, except it was the opposite this time.
And then that's also going to be changing a lot of stuff for the draft that's coming up.
You think?
Yeah. For example,
the quarterback who's coming in, a couple quarterbacks coming in the league.
Yeah. For example, the Chicago Bears. Let's take the Bears they got the 1. They'll have the number 1 or the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
Right. So we know that that Vegas is going to have 6 through 8 somewhere in there, depending on how they finish.
You know that. I don't.
So they can trade down, right? They already have a QB.
Yeah.
that Justin Fields is going to be their guy for a long time.
He better.
Right? So they can trade their number 1 or number 2 pick for 6 through 8. Get a lot more out of it.
Right. Get a non-skill. I hate saying the word non-skill. Like a back position or a secondary defensive position. Something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're getting still a first round pick. You're trading down 6 through 8. But getting more out of it.
Right.
Maybe more picks.
Because we don't need the number 1 quarterback coming into the draft next year. We don't need necessarily the number 1 running back coming into the draft. I mean, honestly, Khalil Herbert.
And if there's not anything supremely good like there was this year, like the Hutchinson, the defensive back that's on Detroit, like if there's not one of those two, like, oh, we got to go out and get this defensive player to, restructure our defense.
Yeah.
They could do that.
Because we don't even really need, receivers. You always like to have, a plethora of skilled receivers, but, we get some more time with getting Kmet up to how he's been performing this year, certain games. We just got Chase Claypool, 3/4 of the way through the season. Let's get him a full off season.
Yeah.
And, summer to get up to speed. I mean, we've got people. We got who just
Montgomery and Herbert and... They have the team.
N'Keal Harry, he's back now, and let's get him a healthy season, healthy full season, for sure. So I like that. Thinking about that as far as going down the pick and
getting more out of it. Getting a better safety or corner that I can't name a corner or safety like I could 6 years ago on the Bears defense.
Right.
Because that's what they used to be known for.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So.
Sad.
Those situations like that build up, especially with the QB carousel that's going on, because they could do that with not Tennessee, but with Indianapolis or with the Jets or with with whomever.
Yeah, get yourselves a solid one and stop playing this game through. You need one a quarterback for 18 games, not every 4 games.
Right.
It's a terrible way to play football.
I can't even imagine how that is in the locker room or at practice or we saw at Denver the QBs fighting with their offensive line.
Right. Right.
That's the one thing you don't want.
Right.
So with we'll put that in the news. Hackett's now been axed over at Denver.
I
don't know who's going to be that. I don't know who's going to come replace him. Who knows? Maybe we'll see Harbaugh leave Michigan, which I doubt because they're about to win a championship.
Yeah.
Well, they're in the playoffs.
Nice.
I haven't checked the scores recently, but I know they're in the top 4. They're undefeated, 17-0 this year.
That's crazy.
So
good for him. Well, he's
who knows?
A good coach.
Even, right?
It's amazing what a coach can do for a team, huh?
Yeah.
That's why they get paid a lot.
We might even see Sean Payton go over there.
Come over from.
Well, he's in the booths now.
Oh, that's right.
It's on NBC or something. I don't know. I saw him.
That's right.
Over Christmas. But he's just took some time off. He said he's going to come back at some point. So
hey, that's what everybody might need.
Just need a break.
There's nothing in the rule book that says even a player you can't take a couple of years off, do some other work.
Well, as a player, I don't know, but
there's no. I mean, you can. People have.
Depends on the player, I guess.
Depends on the player. Tua Tagovailoa.
No, take some time off and live a life, man.
Never come back, dude.
Live a life. Please. I'm serious though. That's so scary.
Yeah. Super scary.
But that's most of the news I got. You got anything else?
That's about it. I think we hit the ones that popped up. Again, we kind of tailored this just for the top games. Even I have some news for my team, but I'll be honest with you, man. I understand, and I always forget that there's money to be had in 3rd and 4th place.
3rd place.
3rd place?
Yeah. So you're in the money still, man. You're still in the money, but it'd be a one lower draft spot.
I just if I'm not in the championship, for me it's about the trophy. The money doesn't matter. It's the trophy that matters for me.
Well, you're still rooting for Dan though, right? Because you can go see it all the time.
Hell yeah, dude! He'll never miss that thing.
Just
at least for a couple of weeks.
Better not end up in his garage and like lost and.
No, it won't be lost. Someone will know where it's at.
Someone will know where it's
this
at.
Guy. Yeah, I like. Yeah, if Dan has it. Well, and here's another thing too, because we're getting ready to get into, I guess, our matchup review. I am pulling for Dan. I try to be somewhat unbiased, but I am pulling for Dan because Chris Alex has won before, right?
Yeah.
Dan has not. It's always fun to see a new champion.
Absolutely. That's one reason I I'm just rooting for a good close game, like your game last week that we'll talk about.
We're getting ready to get into it. I'm not ready yet.
I'm rooting for a good team. It would be nice to have another addition to the champions circle from our league.
Yeah, it's getting a little.
I want everybody at some point to win the trophy.
Feels a little closed off the last few years.
Yeah, a little bit.
Raul just slammed the door behind him. It's been stuck for a few years. No one else will be able to get in.
Nope.
No, but not only that, but Dan he's been having a pretty decent year. Yeah. Right. He got a great new job where he's having a blast at.
Yeah.
He's mobile. He's out driving around. Like he's just having a decent year. And this would be a nice, just kind of topper, just a nice little bow on the whole thing for him to get a championship on top of everything else. It'd be a nice little story, you know what I mean, of 2022 for him.
Yeah, finish off the year, really well.
But that's not saying that it's never fun to see an underdog come back, because that's what Chris Alex has been this whole season. Dan started at the top, and he pretty much stayed there the whole time. Chris Alex did not.
Chris Alex has had a year.
You talk about a meteoric rise. He was in 10th place, I think, in like week 2 or 3 even still.
Oh, yeah. I think it was even week 4.
It might have been later, but I didn't want to push it that much. I think
because Beetle got the win before him. Because they were both...
Is that right?
Offers. Yeah, and then Beetle got the win before him. So I think week 4...
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think he was in last place.
And he didn't get into the playoffs in place 3 or 4. He was in 5th, I think, or was it 6th?
Well, yeah, he was in 5th or 6th because of the 6th-way tie that was 7-7, whatever it was.
He would have had to have been, okay, so 3rd place 6th.
So
he was
the last
played
yeah,
Mile High. Yeah. So he was in 6th because he played Raul.
Yeah.
Or he was in 5th. Raul was 4th. Chris Alex was 5th.
Yeah.
Okay. But, I mean, yeah, he started from the bottom, and now he's here.
Yeah, he's in the championships, man.
He's in the championship.
And that's awesome. That's how you change the whole season. And I said, before even the season started, I'm like, look out for Chris Alex's team. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If that team goes off, when his team really started going off was when Christian McCaffrey got traded to the 49ers. Dude, then he's just, bam, he's like, this guy is just winning.
You know what? That's very funny you say that. I'm sure he was winning a couple of games before that happened, because I feel like that didn't happen until like week 6 or something like that. But I would be very curious to know if he got there right when Chris Alex started his winning streak, because he had like a 5-game winning streak or something like that.
Yeah. More than that now at this point, right?
Yeah, it stops calculating after the regular season, which is kind of irksome to me, because I had one more at least on there.
Just put another win streak on there.
So if Chris Alex wins, it will still be sweet. It's still a nice story, starting from 10th place and crawling your way.
And to me, I think he's the favorite.
Yeah.
Especially with all the
today.
Yeah.
The Pollard.
With Tua out and Pollard.
Yeah.
I think skill-wise, he has the players to bring him home the ship.
Yeah. I do want to talk about the matchup between them two. Are we wanting to wait till after the break to do that?
To do what?
To talk about Dan and or Chris Alex's actual matchup, or are we kind of doing that right now?
Well, that's all we're talking about. We're kind of folding everything into all in one. We'll talk more about the matchup now, but I just want to say he's in my book the favorite for that game. But
yeah,
let's do next week or last week's matchup review first.
Yeah.
You're down by 7 with 4 minutes to go.
I'm going to be lucky if I get a point out of these donkeys. Oh my God, there was a sack.
That's a point.
And a fumble.
That's another point.
Oh my God, they're running it back.
No.
That's 6 points. That was an 8-point play.
Are you kidding me? Am I seriously going to lose to Taco? Come on.
Well, Taco did lose, but...
He did.
First up, Chris Alex took down Daskell in one of the top games of the playoffs, 171 to 149.
He did. Sorry, Daskell, you held first place all season long. I think he got into first place week 2 or 3 early.
Yeah, I mean he's 11-3, so he's been at the top for a very, very long time, all season.
Yeah. That's tough, man. That is a bummer. And I think, again, I had to look back, but 149, it seems like one of your lower scores.
I think it is one of his lower scores, and that's because, Devontae Adams did not have a game. He went 2 for 9 for 15 yards.
2.5.
Only scoring 2.5 points of his projected, was it 15?
Yeah, 15.
So, that's a big hit. Christian Watson also getting hurt in the game. But still.
Geno Smith had an under 20-point game, which he hasn't done since week 7. So that wasn't the best either for him. Tough.
Yes, very tough. He has a great team. I'm excited for Daskell, next year. Mm-hmm. He's still playing you, right, this week?
I guess.
For the third place. You are not invested after
people are making moves on the waiver wire. Dude, I've written off the waiver wire completely. Dude, F that. I spent all my money a week ago or last week.
Oh, man, I'm gearing up for next year.
Yeah, exactly. I am still. I'm always thinking about next year. I had never written myself off this year. I joke about it all the time. I underplay my team all the time because that's just what I like to do. I never like to build myself up.
Yeah.
Even in my own head. But I was obviously into it this year. But yeah, next year, there's always next year. That's the best thing about fantasy football.
That's right.
It will keep going.
And he's got a nice young team. So for the man who has the best record in our league, good luck in your game this week. And, you got this next year.
Yeah, good luck, Daskell. It's you and me. Let's have a nice, friendly game. It's all the pressure's off. It's over. So let's, just don't freak out at all over the game.
Next up, the most dramatic game of the year.
Talk of the town.
Oh my gosh. This was so amazing. We've talked about this happening, but it's never actually happened. But
for those who don't know, why don't you set this what happened in case people who are privy to our league are somehow listening.
Okay, so Evan, you lost to Dan. 147.27 to 147.1.
And how and how I lost by 0.17, and how did that happen exactly, Commissioner?
Well, you lost from your quarterback, Herbert, kneeling the ball 3 times to win. Because kneeling, you get -1 yard, which then just takes
translates
away
to a running play.
Because -0.1 per kneel.
Because negative you can't throw for negative yards, right? So you lose that whole 1 point for every 25 yards. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So that fraction doesn't come into play. It's a basic running play where 1 yard is 1/10 of a point.
Right. So you've lost 3 yards from your quarterback, losing 0.3 points to lose the game.
Yep.
Because you had the game. I believe you were at 147.4.
Yeah, I saw that at one point.
Before the kneeling started.
Yep.
Thus, in the last few minutes of the very last game, you lost, bud.
So, and I said it on the message boards, I will limit this. I will talk for 10 minutes about this. We're at 33 in. I will talk for no longer than 10 minutes about this. So let me set you the scene. We didn't have anybody play last Thursday between me and Dan. I believe we were at 0-0. Going into Saturday. I kind of briefly mentioned I had the big dinner Saturday, had to be ready at 5 o'clock. I've got 8 different dishes, family's coming over. So I decided, you know what? Win or lose, I don't want to have that mindset going into a family dinner, right? I just want to be neutral. So I turned off notifications for my phone for a sleeper app, right? I just wanted an information blackout. So I had no idea what was going on. Tristan, my stepson, I guess, came over, and he's also in his playoffs for fantasy football.
Right.
So he's over at he came over after the Bears game. I kept up on the Bears game, the score, but I didn't keep up on any player stats. Even though Justin Fields was on my bench, I still didn't want that, oh my God, he's got 40 points on my bench in the back of my head.
Gotcha.
Which, depending on the score, I might have assumed anyways. I told Tristan, hey, I'm on a blackout, information blackout. I don't know what's going on with my team. So he constantly asked me, he'd say a player name. I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, talk about him. Right?
That's
just
great.
So I know it. So after dinner was done, I was like, all right, I'm going to check scores after dinner. I wanted to wait till after the 3 o'clock games were completely finished, right? Because there were still games going on, and we still had people in the games late, I feel like almost right up until the night game on Saturday, there was still a game going on. I don't think it was overtime. Was it overtime?
No.
Okay. And then I turned on and I saw the scores, and it was projected close. It was projected still like a 70-30 or something like that.
Right.
Like a projected 152 to like a 148 or some bullshit like that.
Very close.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
So I watched the night game with Tristan, my stepson, because he had, I forget who did the Steelers play Saturday night? I can look right here. Steelers played. I gotta find Pittsburgh. They played Las Vegas. Tristan had a receiver on Vegas, not Devontae Adams, maybe somebody else.
Hunter Renfrow.
Maybe it was Hunter Renfrow. Either way, but then he also had Freiermuth, who Dan had. So I was like, God Christ. So Dan had Jacobs going, and he had Freiermuth going. Tristan's rooting for Freiermuth. I'm like, whatever. And then the game's done. It's like, okay, Monday night looks good for me.
Yeah, Jacobs did not have a good game.
Nope.
You were looking in charge at that point.
Yeah, I had Herbert to play still, and I had Zach Moss, who was the leading running back for Indy because Jonathan Taylor was out. So I was down like 16 points. Down 16 points Monday night. Easy 16 points. Each of these cats
Herbert
get
can
8.
get 16 points.
Right. Each of these cats get 8 points. We're done. Right? It should have been an easy win. He had nobody playing. He was stuck at 147.27. That number will be burned in my fucking skull. I will have it burned into my fucking skull when I die. I will make somebody etch that.
I'm going to get you a tattoo.
147.27. You bastards. Ah! Sorry.
We're getting you worked up. Woo! Don't get my dogs going.
Yeah, 16 points to go. 17 to seal the win with some, stat corrections maybe.
Right.
And then it just didn't fucking happen, dude. I didn't watch the game. Notifications were still turned off for Sleeper app, right? Yep. So I wasn't getting, because I didn't want any scoring notifications either. I just couldn't watch the game, dude. It was too tense. And then everyone on the message boards, it's done, blah, blah, blah. It's a done deal. And I eventually jumped in. I was like, hey, I'm going to step in. Can you guys just...
Don't jinx me.
You guys shut the fuck up, please? And I'll be goddamn, dude.
Oh, buddy.
Check my score a few times during the game. I'm like, dude, this isn't cutting it. You guys aren't. This isn't cutting it.
You took the lead with like 3 to 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
And they punted the ball to Indy. Indy went 3 and out. Punted it back with just like a minute 50 left. And I'm like, this could happen. Yeah. I'm like, I think they still have to get a first down though. Right. So like, there's a chance. Nope. Kneeled it 3 times. Yeah. Just notch for
negative 0.1. And so that night I finally checked it. Like I said, I checked the score a couple times. I checked it once when it was a 147.4. I was like, even then I was like, this is not good. That's one stat correction away from a fucking loss. Like, this is not good.
Yep.
And then and Dan's talking to me on the message boards. I'm ignoring Dan. I'm ignoring the sleeper
just app. Nobody.
Everybody just shut the fuck up. I'm trying to, I'm on the couch with the wife, and I think we're watching a show or something like that. I'm like, I'm freaking out, man.
Just sweating bullets.
And then when the game is done, I look at it, and I'm just crushed, dude. Just absolutely gobsmacked, crushed. But I just say I lost by 0.1. I told her, I'm like, I just lost by 0.17. She's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And I was cool. I was crushed in my head, but I was cool about it. And I went to bed cool about it. I was like, it just happened. Victory formation. I didn't look at the message. I don't think I looked at the message boards because I'd opened my app and it accidentally popped up, like, swipe that message board down real fast. I don't want to read messages yet. I just want to look at my score. I'll deal with that another day. And then the next day is when I finally looked at it, and I was like, I looked at the play-by-play, negative 0.1.
Yep, right at the end.
Sent a screenshot to Tristan. He's like, bro, no way. I was like, I lost by victory formation. That's what happened. I lost a championship by victory formation. Possibly. I wasn't guaranteed I was going to beat Chris Alex next week.
But you would have been in the championship.
Now, all that being said, I lost by 0.17. It's the second worst way to lose in this fucking game. The first one is if I would have done that next week.
Right.
If that would have happened next week, that's the only way that could have been worse.
If it was in the championship.
Unless it's like by 0.01, right? That's obviously, but let's be fair, it's one of the worst things that could ever happen.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to hear anybody else bitching about losing by 0.37 points.
Because we've seen the worst possible
or 2, a touchdown. I don't want to hear it. I have no, or you know what, you can say it, but just know that you will get no sympathy from me. I have none for you. I'm completely out. I don't want to hear it. You talk to each other about that.
Oh, well, it'll be on the boards.
But that being said, I talked to Lynette about it too. I'm not at 10 minutes yet. We got 4 to go.
Yeah.
3 to go. It's my own fault. I left points on the bench. I played the worst defense. I had 4 defenses.
Oh, I did notice
points,
that.
23
I did
points.
Notice that.
15 points on my bench. And the one I played got 9.
Yeah, 8 or 9.
Right? It's my own fault. I could have played Justin Fields. He got 13. On Monday morning, I was like, oh, I made the right call. On Monday night, I made the wrong call. I fucked myself. It's my own fault. I left points on my bench. Can't blame anybody else. I can't blame Justin Herbert. I can't blame Dan.
I can, but
I'd love to blame, like you asshole. But that's what you do. They're not playing fantasy football. They're not playing for my team.
Right.
I made the wrong calls. Had I had a perfect lineup, which has happened, Chris Alex has set a perfect lineup before in this league.
Yeah.
Right? Then I'd be a little bit more pissed off. Like I made all the right plays. But I didn't. I didn't make the right plays.
Right.
So it's fantasy football. That's what this game is about. That's kind of what you love to see. Somebody win at the last fucking second, the last play. I lost at the last possible play.
Yep.
No, the second last possible play.
Yeah.
Because once I lost.
Oh, you were riffing. I was just gonna let you go. That's stuff we talked about. You know, I don't know if it was in any of the podcasts, but for years, you know, we've talked about that negative.
Mm-hmm. The kneel down.
That negative kneel. Someone could lose because of that.
Yeah.
And we had never seen it until now.
I don't think we have. I really don't.
No.
At least not in this context of this important of a game.
Right.
Not a regular season game.
It was, as a bystander, it was amazing. It was so fun to watch. It was fantastic.
I can only imagine, dude.
But what made it even crazier, though, is that Sleeper could have stat corrections that last till Friday.
Yeah.
It could. But also they didn't announce the winner. So like they gave Dan the win, right? But it didn't populate the next week's games because there could be stat corrections until Wednesday morning.
Oh.
So there's just like
a chance
so there's still those 2 days where it's just like, oh my God, this still could change.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So the championship game didn't populate until Wednesday morning.
Ah, gotcha.
It's probably 4 stat corrections.
Right.
So like there was after Monday night game, there's all day Tuesday to like,
so Tuesday,
oh my God, is this going to happen?
Yeah.
You know?
Tuesday I should have been burning candles and lighting incense or whatever people do.
That's what Dan's freaking doing. I don't know. He beat me this year on QB bullshit too. Like I was down by like 8 points with Kyler Murray left to go. I'm like, I got this. Kyler Murray has a non-contact injury.
Yeah, that's right.
Before they are just like 2 plays in.
Yeah.
I was like, what kind of voodoo is this? But yeah.
Dan, congratulations to you, Dan. You won fair and square.
One of the luckiest guys. Next up, we'll move on. Is that our 10 minutes for you?
Oh, just basically 10 minutes. It was 33, now we're at 43.
Nice.
So.
Raul took down Mile High. We all knew that was coming because Mile High did not have a quarterback to play.
Right.
Raul won 146 to Mile High's 129. Would have been a lot closer if he did see that he needed to get a QB because Lamar Jackson did not play again. Next up, congratulations, Beetle, for winning the Toilet Bowl. He defeated me 151 to 142. Mm-hmm. Good on you, Beetle. I wanted you to win. You won first pick overall next year for Destination Draft.
And that's with a 35-point day from Hawkinson that you had.
Yeah.
Because Tristan also had Hawkinson, and we were talking about how when we could talk about football, we were talking about how he just blew up.
He did. He had a great game, but then his George Kittle, his tight end, had a 30-point game as well.
30 as well, yeah. It was 30-35. Which, that Minnesota Giants game, that's the game you called to be a tie last week. You called that game for a tie.
Did I?
It was 24-27.
I was close, huh?
You were close.
It was a last-minute field goal.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. They won. Okay. They won at the last minute. I'm like, is it... Or did it go to OT? I don't remember.
I still gave myself a win and you a loss on that one because you called the tie.
Yeah, that's fine. You got to win somehow, don't you?
Oh, rough. That's... Commish cuts deep.
And then last up, Melvin took down Johnny to 108. So as of now, we're looking at Beetle, number 1 pick. Mm-hmm. Myself, number 2 pick, which I gave to Johnny over last year for a trade. Then into Melvin. Then Johnny. Mm-hmm. And then it would be Mile High.
He's just doing this off the top of his dome, dude.
And then it's the last 4 is still to be decided.
Interesting. So
then I have Raul's pick that round.
So Dan will either be 9th or 10th, as well as Chris Alex?
Right.
Right. And the winner of me and Mile High gets 6 and 7.
Yes. Well, yeah.
So if I beat Mile High, I'll get 6.
You will have 7.
Oh.
But you'll win 3rd place. So
I'll get money, but I'll lose my pick.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you'll go down the order.
I got you.
So that's to keep people from just tanking to get first overall pick. I made the toilet bowl so that we have something to still play for, and that's your picks. So that order does that, and then the championship does reverse.
Gotcha. Right on. Very cool.
Yeah, wow, doing it right off the top of his head. Just getting it. But yes, that was the week 16. Going into it, we're going to take a quick break and come back and talk about this week championship. Welcome back to Pigskin Isn't Just for Cooking podcast, our Super Bowl edition.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's exactly what I want to talk about now.
Mm-hmm.
Big game. So, Chris Alex, Daniel Cook.
Whew.
Awesome stuff. Awesome sauce.
First timer in the Super Bowl?
I don't think it's his first time in the Super Bowl.
Dan's?
Yeah. Maybe in Dynasty, yes, but he's been, I think, in one before. Maybe 2.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. I don't remember that at all.
Well.
Against Raul once?
I'm not sure, but yeah, he's been in 1 or 2.
Because Dan's been in for, what, like 6 years, maybe? 5 years?
6 years, I think, and 1 year off because
life
was real. No, well, that, and he wouldn't pay up, so I kicked him out for a year.
Dan?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I will be getting back into, but COVID changed some stuff up.
Okay.
People, I still need to get paid, bro.
Yeah, you goddamn right you do. Because you got to pay people.
Yeah, I do. People want the money. But anyways, this matchup, Chris Alex 7 and 7, slated 165 points, versus Dan Cook, who's 10 and 4 on the season, 170 points.
Yeah.
But the fun fact, and this is heavily weighted, is this game tonight. Is huge.
Oh, super huge. As a lot of us obviously know, Dan's Cook is predominantly made up of Cowboys. He's got a very Western team.
Yes.
I've said it before, a lot of weeks he's had every single position filled by a Cowboy. Quarterback, receiver, running back, tight end, defense.
Yes. Yep.
Not this week.
Can't, because no Tony Pollard.
Which, again, what a hit. But he's still projected to win.
Right.
But that's with Jalen Hurts on Chris Alex's bench, which might change.
Woof. Yeah.
Decisions.
Yeah, that's... And this is
I'll tell you,
fun.
Dan texted me earlier, right? And because you're talking about, the game tonight, and he was, I'm going to go watch the game on Sunday, the noon game, but I can't make it out tonight. And he texted me earlier. He's like, Cowboys or Jags defense. He's like, everything says Cowboys. Jags against the Houston Texans is not a bad call either. But honestly, I told him, like, hey, man, don't ask me. Like, last week I left 3 defenses with 15, 23, and 25 or something like that on my bench. Yeah. I played the 9-point defense. Like, don't fucking ask me. Yeah. And on top of that, I'm not going to give you advice because I'll be damned if I'm a reason you lose a championship.
Right. Yeah, like, don't put that on me because he would.
Don't ever put that on me. Exactly.
Because he would put that on you.
Exactly. Oh, well, since I was thinking about it, but then since you were great, I figured that, like, no, you're on your own, bud. You made it here. You made it here on your own. Finish it, dude. Finish it on your own.
Yeah.
This is all you, man. You got this.
Yeah. I did tell him. He'd asked me some questions, and I told him I don't want to collude.
Yeah.
But you have to go all out and make sure you have a backup quarterback.
Well, that's obvious. I mean,
you got to do that. With Tua going in concussion, I told him that. Like, you have to do it.
For sure. And it's not collusion, but I'll say this. If there are things are reversed and it was Chris Alex scrambling for a quarterback and I had money left, I'd try to outbid him just to pick him up. Just so Dan could get a win.
I'm surprised Chris Alex didn't.
I'm surprised other people in the league didn't. I would definitely try to fuck over a championship team if I want somebody else to win. That's not collusion. That's just me playing the game.
Yes.
I have my favorite.
He could have. Chris Alex definitely has money left. He hasn't made a lot of moves this year.
16.
He could have really. It's championship rules, man. You could have really put a thorn.
Yeah.
And won this championship.
He had more money than Dan, right?
Oh yeah. To do that.
But see, that's just a classy non-move, I guess.
It's tactics. That's what it is. But I told Dan that because I want to see a good match.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a lopsided victory. But,
right. A mile high Raul because you're down a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, now what? And granted, Mile High could have moved Lamar Jackson to the super flex and then put someone in instead of keeping him in the QB because I just don't think Mile High paid attention that week. He probably was
right
whatever.
For sure.
It's the 7th place game.
You're out of the championship. It's a bummer. You kind of have
went out the
first
week of playoffs. Yeah.
It's depressing. It's a tough thing to lose when you spend 14 weeks building to
trying
something
to get to the playoffs,
and then it's all gone in 1 week. Yeah, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's a tough loss, and we don't make millions of dollars whether or not we win these things. So.
Absolutely. But yeah, everything hinges on tonight's game. Zeke Elliott's going to get a bump because no Pollard, but yes, he's starting the Cowboys D.
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak Prescott. So yeah, almost every skill position he's got a Cowboy going in.
Between you and me, because this will not get out in time before 7:15 for a lineup set. Cowboys or Jags, who would you play?
I would play the Cowboys this week because Tennessee is starting a week-old QB who has been on the team a lot. They're down Derrick Henry. Like, what more can you ask for?
I'm also a big proponent of not tinkering with a team. Now, granted, sometimes you have to. Sometimes based on matchups, you absolutely have to. But when it's this close, right? Because you pick up a defense playing Houston. I've won games off the Browns, scored 3 defensive touchdowns on the Texans.
Yeah,
it's a fair matchup. So when the matchups are this close, I say don't tinker. Cowboys got you here, ride them out, baby.
Right. Yeah, and they have a top-tier defense. Yeah. They haven't produced really well the past few weeks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that same thing happened with the Eagles.
Now, the Jags are where in their playoff hopes?
They're still going for it. I think they're in the hunt still.
And Cowboys,
they've been doing really well.
Cowboys are in their seed hopes. Are they still vying for home field advantage and stuff?
I haven't been paying attention to those playoffs as much as our own.
For sure. They're not as important.
So I really couldn't say.
Nice.
But Dallas always trying to get. I think they made the playoffs. I think they were like the 6th or 7th team to make the playoffs because of a Washington loss or something like that.
Right. I just didn't know if they still were trying to go balls to the wall to get like a home field advantage going on or how that works out.
Yeah, I think I don't think it has been decided except for maybe Bills, Kansas City.
First seeds for sure.
Something like that.
Okay. Nice.
Because they have the best records, I think, in football besides for the Eagles. I don't think the Eagles have it locked down yet.
Oh, is that right? Oh, okay. I would also pick the Cowboys defense over the Jags. But
yeah, Houston's sneaky.
Yeah. Plus, and I was looking at it too, as far as Dan is like, well, who does Chris Alex have, right? But he's got the Bills defense, and that's what defense you just don't change throughout the season.
No, he rides that besides for 1 week, and that's the Bills bye week.
I have 4 defenses for a reason because I have a carousel of defenses. It depends on matchups because all of mine are top middling, like New England,
right?
And Dolphins top middling, but then I've got my Bengals and my I forget who else I have right now.
Yeah, me.
Do I have the Browns defense and the Bengals defense?
I think so. Yeah, you played the Browns this past week.
Yeah, because I got rid of Chicago way too late in the season. I just was hoping they were going to have a comeback.
Well, no, after they lost Mac, I was like,
yeah. They're done for a while. Yeah, I have Browns and Bengals, but yeah, it should be fun. Tonight's going to decide a lot But we still have to wait till Monday because there are Monday players still.
Are there?
Chris Alex is a Monday
Dawson
player.
Knox, who can go off.
I think that's it. And the
Bills defense, which could go. Cincinnati's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
But who knows? They could really be a thorn in Cincinnati's side. Mm-hmm. You never know. They might return a kickoff for a touchdown. I hope that's like 22 points. You just don't know.
I hope it's the exact same Monday night game as last week so I can enjoy this one.
Yeah. Right. Perfect.
Hope it goes the exact same.
Just right down to the wire. Me too. I think it'd be good. I really think Teddy Bridgewater could do well against New England.
He's been a good quarterback. When he was on the Vikings, he was not terrible.
Right. Same thing in New Orleans. He was pretty good over there.
Yeah.
So I think it's good. I think that was the best thing on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. On the waiver wire for sure. And you ain't making any trades at this point in the season. So that's that's the only place you can go.
But, after Monday, though, I would recommend if people hear this early enough, try to make some moves for waiver wire stuff because that stuff's going to be cut off once the season's over. So if you have if you have anybody on the waiver wire, you might want to take thing on to fill up a taxi squad to this or that.
Right. For your spots.
Yeah, I'm trying not to pick up too much because I have a full IR. I'm gonna have to start dropping. I'm gonna start dropping people.
I got a few
my IR players. So
I got a few.
But just keep that in mind, everybody.
I'll get this out by tomorrow, at least tomorrow morning. It'll probably be out tonight.
Yeah,
like 8, 9, something like that.
Cool. Heck yeah. That's the big one. Do you want to go over your match at all?
No.
You
know what? I don't.
All right.
I haven't even looked at my players.
I'll just say right now, Evan Forbes, who was 8-6 on the season, has slated 170 points to Dastel, who finished 11-3, 164 points. But I kind of imagine Dastel's kind of the same way. He's probably like, meh. I'm not in the championship.
I think I've seen some news about some of my players, but practicing, not practicing, questionable. I haven't even checked. I haven't made any moves. I probably will. I'll make a couple moves tonight. Who's playing Dallas and Tennessee? No, I don't have anybody on either of those teams. I'll probably wait till Sunday morning and I'll move some stuff around. But I'm not going to be doing waiver wire stuff. I'm good.
You're done.
You're
done. You're here for the podcast and the fun of football.
That's
it. Stress of football is over.
Oh boy.
So with that, good luck everybody.
Yeah.
Good luck Chris Alex. Good luck Dan. We'll really see tonight where things are leading for the weekend.
Dan's going to basically set the floor tonight.
Yes. The ceiling?
No, I think he's going to set the floor. He can't score under what, like Chris Alex has to score at least what Dan scores.
Okay.
Tonight.
Yeah.
And so he sets the floor.
Well, he has all those players, so he is going to have more points than Chris Alex.
And he sets his own floor tonight because he can't score anything under that. So yeah, Dan's setting the floor tonight for the rest of the matchup. If he's got 125 points by the end of tonight, then
that's 125 points that Chris Alex has to make up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and didn't Chris Alex score like only 120 2 weeks ago? Or last? No. That was Daskell.
Yeah, that was Daskell in the bye week.
That's right.
And that's why I brought it up too. I'm like, oh, he's not scoring that many points. I'd be a little worried.
And you sure were right.
I know. Yeah. I'm okay at this. I'm getting okay at this.
You won twice. You're a 2-over champion.
So this week for Week 17 Pick'ems, it is your week to pick.
On the spot. Haven't really looked at the matchups. I haven't looked at the matchups because I've kind of written off football for the past few days. So
so pissed.
Yep.
Okay, Week 17, Thursday night game, Dallas at Tennessee.
It's gonna be Dallas.
Absolutely is. Dallas got this in the bag. Tennessee, not even playing their rookie. I don't get it.
You're salty about that.
I am a little salty because I drafted
Ellinger.
No. Oh my gosh, why can't he?
Who's Ellinger on? Is he on?
Ellinger's on.
Oh, he's on Colts.
He's on the Colts.
Your other favorite team in the world. That's right. That's why I was confused because Ellinger is
Well, yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'm just liking the Colts because that's where we're gonna try to go for this.
Oh, I'm super pissed at the Colts now. Yeah. After last week's game, I'm super mad at the Colts. I want to go to the destination so I can piss on their fucking stadium. Hell yeah.
Let's do it. We're doing this.
Fuck the Colts.
God damn it.
They beat us in the Super Bowl and then they do this to me on a Monday night game.
Oh, man. It's great. Just do something so that he gets to throw the football.
Please, play football. So the other team has to play football.
Oh, that's great.
Sorry.
On to the noon games on Sunday, January 1st. setting in the new year.
You're going to have to read these off to me because when I printed my own out, I just grabbed them off the printer. I didn't look at them. I printed them in some weird like PDF format, so they are about 1, 2, 3 inches tall.
Yeah.
This whole pic sheet.
3 inches tall on a full piece of paper.
On a full piece of paper.
Fantastic. Next up. Okay, so noon game starting on Sunday, January 1st. Arizona at Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Battle of the A's.
Arizona at Atlanta. I'm going to pick Atlanta just because I think Arizona's kind of cashed in their season and they've got a lot of injury stuff.
Yep. I picked Atlanta as well.
Yeah.
Next up, Chicago at Detroit.
Ooh. Chicago beat us at home last time. I think we're going to beat Detroit away this time.
Gotcha. I did pick Detroit.
Oh, you so beat. Well, you picked Chicago last week, and that didn't work out for you.
No, but they took the lead, and they had it for a little bit. And I'm like, this could happen.
Yeah, right when Justin Fields
scored
his touchdown. And
no, it's not happening. Yeah, then it was real bad. Yeah. I don't know what happened. It just...
I finally looked at his stats, even though I should have played Justin Fields because I would have won last week.
Or a
13
defense,
versus 9.
You know?
Or a different fucking defense.
Next up, we have Denver at Kansas City.
KC, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Denver is garbage right now.
Well, new coach. We'll see what happens. But I'm not going to bet on them winning.
Dude, they lost bad to who? Because you picked Denver last week, and they lost to the Rams, like 50 to. Did they? Yeah. Oh, they lost it was really bad last week. That's
and
right.
The Rams looked really good.
Oh God!
Where did that come from?
Baker Mayfield came from that, I guess.
Baker Mayfield.
Ooh, is that Johnny's guy?
I don't know.
I think so. Johnny or Melvin? That's what I'm calling.
Next up, we have Miami at New England.
Dude, I feel like every time I pick Miami, they just don't do it. But I am picking... No, I'm picking New England.
I picked New England as well.
Tua.
It's a home game. No Tua.
I don't think we're going to have a 75-yard touchdown.
They're playing dirty over there, New England. You know.
Oh, dude, Dan was so salty. I'm sorry. I broke my 10 minutes. The Miami game, when Tua broke off that 22-yard touchdown. To
your guy, to Jalen Waddle.
Sunday night, I think that was. Yeah. Was that the Sunday or one of the Sunday games? Yeah. He was so mad. Like I would have been too, dude. One play was 22 some odd points.
Because it was a 40-plus TD to Jalen Waddle, right?
75-yarder.
Ooh.
Dan got points for it too for Tua, but I got more points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, New England's got it.
Next up for the noon games, Indianapolis at the Giants.
Giants.
Yep, I picked the Giants as well.
Whoa.
I'm done with Indy for the year.
Okay.
After that, we have New Orleans at Philly.
Oh, is that what that says? I couldn't see if that said Pittsburgh. I'll take Philadelphia.
I picked Philly as well.
Yeah.
Next up, Carolina at Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, right?
I don't know. Carolina's looking pretty hot.
They did. They beat Vegas last week? No, they beat Detroit last week. That's right. They beat Detroit last week.
Yeah, handedly.
Yeah, like 40. They were sort of in the 40s or something. No, 30s, 40s. Yeah, I think I'm still picking Tampa Bay though.
I did pick Tampa Bay as well.
I picked Tom Brady is what I did.
Tom Brady trying to get into playoffs.
Yeah,
Tom Brady.
Ooh, it's exactly right.
Yeah,
it's exactly right.
They're gonna put on a show. And it's a home game.
It's a home game. Yeah, right there.
After that, still in the noon games, we have Cleveland at Washington.
Ooh, I think this might be good, dude.
This is gonna be a fun game.
Because Carson Wentz is now back in.
Carson Wentz is back.
I'm gonna call high scoring game for this one.
Ooh, buddy.
I don't do that ever.
I like that.
I'm calling for this one though.
Good. I think we should do that in the future. Just who's ever picking on the spot picks the highest scoring game.
On the spot picks it.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. Because you did that last week and you were picking on the spot. Nice. Yeah. I like that. I am going to call... Again, I wish I knew better playoff positions for this, but I think I'm going to do Washington. I think you're going to have a case of a fresh quarterback syndrome, and they're going to take a win.
Yep, I picked Washington over Cleveland as well. Deshaun Watson's looking a little rusty.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't played for over a year. So we'll see. And, Cleveland is out of the playoffs officially. I think Washington is still trying to make it. Nice. That's so, because... that was a big thing I was looking at too. Is are they gonna rest Chubb for Dan's team? Is that because they didn't make the playoffs?
I did not even think because I didn't know that they weren't in it. Oh my god, dude.
So, yeah.
He would love to have Kareem Hunt right now.
Right?
No.
So, I mean, that could still happen. He could go on a pitch count. We don't know.
Wow.
Playoffs are tough, man.
Wow. Damn, dude. Way to bring that up. I should go to the noon games. Dude, I don't know if we'll get the Cleveland game in network. I don't know if that's going to be the second game besides the Bears game at noon.
Yeah. We probably won't. Maybe... Well,
it's pretty close. We sometimes get Ohio games.
I got a YouTube TV, and they usually have, like, game day.
Are you going over to Dan's on Sunday for the noon game?
I have dinner with the father-in-law. I mean, lunch with the father-in-law, but then I was going to come after that.
Oh, okay.
So it's usually pretty quick.
Oh, that's right. At least Dan will have a buddy at all times on Sunday. We got shifts.
To cry on shoulders.
We're on Dan watch on Sunday.
Fantastic. I love it. After that, last noon game, Jacksonville at Houston.
You know what? Jacksonville's been looking good. I think they're just going to keep looking good.
Yes, absolutely. I think Jacksonville, it's all clicking at the right time.
Nice.
Moving on to the 3:00 game. So we have San Francisco at Vegas.
San Francisco, right?
Easy peasy.
Carr's not playing. They're going to bring someone fresh against that monster San Francisco defense. Whoa, what a week to do it. I would hate to
I did pick up that quarterback, but because of the news I read about Derek Carr, so they're giving this guy out. They've had him. This is like his third or fourth year. Okay. So they've had him. They've been working with him. He's well liked by Josh Jacobs and some of the other players.
Nice.
So I could potentially have gotten a starter for next year. Fingers crossed, right? Because my QB situation sucks.
I would hate to be a fresh quarterback going against that San Francisco defense at this point in the season. I mean, they've secured their playoff win.
They look so good. San Francisco just looks stupid good. Ever since they got Christian McCaffrey. I don't know what it is, but that was just a boost across their whole everything. It was crazy.
If it makes you feel any better, Raul, I feel much better talking about the San Francisco team than I did in the last 3 years. Because I don't want to give you too much credit.
But, yeah, they are looking great. One of my favorites going into playoffs.
Nice.
3:00 game, New York Jets at Seattle.
Oh, ooh. So you got another quarterback starter. I mean,
Mike White's pretty solid.
Right. He's not new. And what's going on in Seattle? Geno Smith had a kind of a game.
Because they lost Tyler Lockett. He was out for finger surgery. Yeah, but he's now... They're calling it a did not practice, but he was catching balls.
They picked up Marquise Goodwin. He didn't do anything last week, but I thought I saw a questionable on his name this week, and he is questionable. Shoulder, wrist. Yeah, I might call the Jets on this one, I think.
Okay, very fun. I did pick Seattle.
Okay. I wanted to, but I think I'm just going to... Yeah, because we picked all the same except for one so far. The Chicago-Detroit game.
Right. And then, there's two different. The 3:30 games. Minnesota at Green Bay.
This one's tough. I still think my pick, the high-scoring, the Cleveland-Washington game.
Yeah.
But this is going to be up there, too. I think I'm taking Green Bay at Lambeau.
I did pick Green Bay as well. They want it. They're going to be in it. But it's going to be one of those, I see overtime again for Minnesota. Sure. I see a last-minute field goal for Minnesota. Like, that's what they do. That's
Fairburn?
How they've won.
I always say
they've won
Fairburn.
4 or 5 games in last-minute field goals.
Yeah.
Or
by
in
3
overtime.
Points.
Yeah.
Last week they did against the Giants.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you called that one to be a tie.
That's close.
Nice.
Green Bay, I think, will eke this one out. They're hungry. They need it.
Yeah. So. And it's at Lambeau. Green Bay always plays. Aaron Rodgers plays better at Lambeau.
That's true. Okay. The last 3:30 game. LA Rams versus LA Chargers.
You know, after the showing last week for the Rams, I don't know. But the Chargers didn't play a really full game. I don't know.
They didn't do... They beat Indy, but they didn't beat Indy.
Right, because they didn't need to beat Indy.
Yeah.
They stayed ahead of Indy.
Yeah.
I'll take the Chargers.
I picked the Chargers as well.
They got a rest week last week. They almost had a bye week last week. No.
Oh, man.
Poor Colts. I'm sorry. That's your team. Yeah. I'm sorry, Kamish.
Well, they were my team, but,
When did you lose face? Faith. Week 7?
Oh, no. I don't know. It's hard to remember.
We'll talk about it on our post.
I was trying to stay positive because I went all in on Michael Pittman Jr. this year, and it didn't turn out.
And we both like Matt Ryan. You know, he needs a ring before his time is done, and he should have had one.
I don't think that's going to happen, but
not now.
Not anymore. Not with the way it looked. He was the most turnover quarterback of the year. So
we were talking about having a look back episode, like almost a postseason for us episode, and assess how we thought, episode number 1 versus how we feel at the end of the season. So we might get
back into that. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I want to pinpoint what week it was exacy you lost.
When I lost my faith.
When you finally got off the bandwagon.
It was probably there. Well, when I got off the bandwagon, I absolutely know what week that was. It was the week of the largest come from behind victory.
Oh no!
I was like, I'm done. I'm done. They were up 33-0 and they lost
to the Vikings. Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yep, that was it.
Okay.
It's like I'm out.
That was only like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You stuck in for a lot longer than you should have.
And I benched Pittman immediately. I haven't even played him. Like, I'm done. Then they switched quarterbacks again to Nick Foles, and he did horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on over there, but I thought Nick Foles was going to do good, but he threw like 2 interceptions back to back.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. Kellen Mond is still on the Vikings, is that right? Or did he go to Indy?
Okay. I think Mond's there. Okay. Yep. Last but not least, on Sunday evening, Pittsburgh at Baltimore.
Lamar Jackson, what was his news? I haven't really kept up on that. Is he what's going on with him?
As far as I know, he's still out.
I'm picking Pittsburgh.
I picked Pittsburgh as well.
They just beat Vegas last week. They did beat Vegas.
They did beat Vegas. It was a pretty sloppy game, but they did beat Vegas. Baltimore has all the weapons to beat Pittsburgh.
Sure, but
I really think Pittsburgh's going to pull this one through.
Chris Alex is looking for a big Pittsburgh game, so I think it's going to be Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Again, I'm 99% sure it's a division game, so it should be pretty solid. So,
and last but not least, Monday, January 2nd, Buffalo at Cincy.
Game of the week.
Absolutely,
according to people.
Joe Buck, the best Monday Night Football game in decades.
And I was talking about, I'm pretty sure I could probably find one this year. But as far as playoffs stuff, it's
that is a quarterback showcase. Joe Buck on calling Bills Bengals the biggest Monday Night Football game in decades.
It's just because both quarterbacks, one of his name and the other one's another J name. He's just selfish.
Oh, Joe Buck.
A Josh and another Joe.
Yeah.
You know what? This is tough, but I think I'm going to pick Josh Allen coming in and taking it to Cincy.
I picked Buffalo as well.
Yeah. Dang, so we only picked two games, the Chicago game and the Seattle Jets game?
Yep.
Dang. I think that's the closest we've been all year, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it is.
Wow.
Well, that really helps me with my my wins.
If you win?
No,
it will.
Because
if we win.
It'll all go just to the both.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you've got this year. Right now, you're at 51 wins to my 39, but we've both picked the winning team 86 times.
Because we're both good like that.
Yeah, we've lost 48. But then we also are missing a whole week 15 because we missed a podcast. I was sick and a piece of crap. So
no, it's okay. You weren't a piece of crap. It was an issue. Just Herbert was a piece of crap for you last.
Dude. Too soon.
Too soon. It never stops.
Ask me in a year, 2 years, 3 years. It'll still be too soon.
This game will never be forgotten.
It's going to go down. It's one for the history books, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
At least between me and Dan, he'll never let me. Oh, God, dude, that's my best friend. I'm going to have to hear it for the rest of my fucking life from that guy.
Yep. I'll remind him, too.
He better win. And that's the thing is, I don't want to get beat by less than a point if this guy can't come back and finish the job next week. Like,
Chris is a fantastic team, man. I said it at the beginning of the season. I'm like, look out. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm glad it's bittersweet, and I can just be a spectator. I'll be on the message boards. Next week.
Mm-hmm. We'll be FaceTiming Dan, being like, you dirty slut.
Yeah. Yes.
So
yes.
Awesome.
I'm back.
Any closing points, arguments, anything from over there?
Good luck, Chris Alex. Good luck, Dan Cook.
Absolutely,
love you guys. This will be a fun championship match. Good luck to everybody else next year too. This season is officially done for the rest of us. Well, not me and Daskell.
We'll probably do one more podcast before we take a break. We'll do a little recap of the championship, predictions for playoffs, and kind of a look back on our first year of potting.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll pepper in one or two throughout the next few months.
Yeah, maybe something for the draft, the real draft, the Super Bowl. But yeah,
Super Bowl might be the earliest. Maybe a post Super Bowl or pre Super Bowl, but that's February. That's in a few weeks. God damn, it's in a month.
I know, right?
Where does the time go? Fantasy football.
It does. Who would have thought it's been 18? Well, we've probably done 20 weeks. About
this is episode, I think 19 or 20, because Thanksgiving was 2 episodes. And I think I labeled them 18A or 17A and 17B. So I think this is number 20.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because I think this is script. Yeah, this is episode. Well, it says episode 19, but this is officially episode 20. We've done 20 episodes.
Yeah, awesome. Heck yeah. And with that, we'll see everybody later. This is your Commission with the Dish. Just Bob Rossinet and Adam Bola.
Kissing cousins. See you next week.